This is the Great Legend, and I'm coming at you live tonight with our WWE Royal Rumble 2019 PPV review. And tonight is a very special night. We've got Comicore Chad, C Woodard 19. We got Comics with Bueller and none other than the Architect, Sam's Tangled Web. Let's go down the line. I'm going to start with you, Chad. Chad, from the Comicore, how you doing tonight, brother?
Doing great. Ready to talk about some wrestling.
We got some wrestling to talk about tonight, that's for sure. C Wooded 19, tell me what's hopping over there, my friend.
I'm just glad to be back on the Great Legends channel, ready to talk about the Royal Rumble. Can't wait.
Man, it has been a long time in the making. And how about you, Comics with Bueller? Hot off a big weekend of shows. You had your show on Friday, your Comicore show. You guest starred on Economics and Comics last night. And tonight, we're talking the Rumble. Bueller, what's going on?
I'm ready for some wrestling talk. I'm tired of comic book talk, and I want to talk wrestling. So let's not waste any more time. But hey, I got my guest here, and he wants to say hello as well.
Who is that? Is that you got the Architect over there?
We do.
You dang straight he does. I'm here to talk a little bit of wrestling.
Oh, man. Sam, it is good to have you. I'm so glad you and Bueller had a watch party over there tonight. And, man, that's what it's all about. Now, let's get on in. This was a long show. I think it was a 2-hour kickoff. A lot of crazy stuff going on. I didn't watch the first kickoff show match. What did y'all think? It was what? I don't even know what the hell it was. Do you remember what the first match was?
Well, I've been on the road all day. I got back first just in time to catch the actual show, but by the time we were waiting for this to start, I did kind of fast forward through a few spots on the pre-show. I think the first match, if I remember right, was this weird tag team match between, you got the Gable Rude, the Raw Tag Team Champs. Yeah, by the way, they're still Raw Tag Team titles. Who knew? They fought Scott Dawson and Razor of AOP for some reason.
Super weird.
Gable and Rude retained. And then, should we just do the pre-show rapid fire, or are we going to go through the matches one by one?
No, we'll go rapid fire. So
so I'll just rapid fire everything out I got from the pre-show. So I'll just do the pre-show as one section of notes here. So we had that match. You had Nakamura actually beating Rusev for the U.S. belt already, so it seems like they're throwing Nakamura a bone to kind of keep him with the company, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
There was a spot where Rusev actually bumped into Lana, and she hurt her ankle, so more on that later. And then the other match, you get this it was actually a pretty cool 4-way cruiserweight match. You had Buddy Murphy defending against Tozawa. And who are the other two guys? You had the guy from the Lucha House Party. And
Kalisto.
Yeah, Kalisto.
Kenta. Yeah, Hideo Itami.
Yeah, Hideo. And that ended with Hideo getting hit by the Murphy's Law. So pretty solid matches. Pretty much a big spot fest like you'd expect. So one thing actually I take that back. There's two things worth watching on the pre-show. That was number one. But number two I haven't mentioned yet. There was an incredible promo by the new Daniel Bryan about the hilarious Chase Stadium burger, which is like a triple cheeseburger or something with a cheese stick and a chicken wing on top. And of course, Daniel Bryan saying that made him mad. Just he ends the promo by just stepping on it, and it just sounds like the most gross thing to step on ever. So two things worth looking for in the pre-show. That Daniel Bryan promo is definitely one of them.
But the best cut of that sandwich is that sandwich sold out in 3 minutes after that promo was cut.
Man, good way to sell some food at Conseco Field. So, since we're doing rapid fire, Woodard, what do you give the pre-show out of 5 stars? Just the whole pre-show out of 5 stars.
I'll probably say just 2.5 out of 5 because it was 2 hours long. Mm-hmm. They had a total of 3 matches, and I would have loved it if somehow on a 5-hour show they could have worked in that cruiser match on the main show or had that as the opener or something like that. But hey, we got 5 hours of wrestling to talk about, so I'm not going to dwell on that.
Amen to that. Chad, what did you think? Did you get to catch the pre-show?
I did, and I'm telling you, the more and more I watch these, the bigger fan I become of Murphy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the dude is a solid performer, and but overall, the pre-show sucks too.
Mm-hmm. What do you give it for stars though?
I said two.
Oh,
Two.
two. Well, you know what? You gotta love a good pre-show. Bueller, Sam, y'all, what are y'all thoughts? Did y'all get to catch that pre-show?
Yeah, I caught most of it. Only about half of the cruiserweight match, but I did catch all the other two. I actually, the tag match made no sense because of how it was paired up, and it wasn't even for the titles. It was for if they were to win, the Razor and the other Dawson guy or whatever, then each one of their teams gets a shot at the tag titles in the future, and that's what the match was for. So that was really bizarre.
They didn't even win anyway, huh?
Yeah, they didn't win anyway. So the Rusev and Nakamura match was really good. I thought that was a good match. It had some good storytelling, and I liked it. Kind of reminded me a little bit of a Randy Savage Elizabeth type thing.
Damn.
With Rusev and him bumping into her and all that stuff. So I thought that was pretty good. And then the cruiserweight match, I only caught about half of it. And I don't like cruiserweight matches when there's so many people. I like to see two guys just highlight what they can do together because those cruiserweights are just awesome when they have the opportunity to shine. All in all, I thought besides the first match, I would probably give it like a 2.5, and that's basically based on the middle match with Rusev and Nakamura. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I thought that the Rusev Nakamura match wasn't too bad. You know, it was had some sloppy parts, but it wasn't bad. So.
I'm a big Rusev fan. I love Rusev. You know, it just reminds me of some, Iron Sheik villain or Nikolai villain. But a lot of folks are loving on Rusev, because Rusev Day is a great day. And by the way, we have in the chat Discovery Bay. I just had to rhyme with Rusev Day. Thank you, Discovery Bay, for being here to complete my rhyme on this time tonight as we are live on youtube.com/rdowdy95. And we got our first super chat of the night. Economics in Comics. He says, sick. And you know what was sick about it was last night, Economics in Comics, 5-6 hour. I don't know how many hours it was, but his return to live streaming. So if you're not subscribed to Economics in Comics, make sure y'all do that today because he'll teach you what comics to buy and he'll tell you what comics needs to stay in your collection. Let me go back. Let me go up and down the rest of the chat. Make sure we don't leave no one out tonight. Thank y'all so much. We do have 16 people watching right now. We got Chad90, MF Comics. He says, what a rumble. Sheila is in the house. Sheila Flaming says, let's get this party started. Sheila in the house. Hell yeah. Hey, Sam, you know Sheila, don't you?
I sure do.
One of the best. Yeah. She's one of the best fans of the Great Legend Show, and she's one of the greatest fans of all time of Sam's Tangled Web. But we got Joe Ryan Comics in the house. He says, burning that midnight oil. We got Mr. Garrel. He says, hello all. Hello, shadows. Comic Noob is here. He's giving some love to Sheila in the chat, as is Thomas Churchill. Man, Thomas Churchill, one of the greatest bidders in all of the comic book community online auctions. We got, who else we got? Everyone's just kind of talking. I tell you, we got Economics in Comics again. Man, thank you so much for that super chat, brother. That $2 Blue Label super chat. We got Comic Course giving some love in the chat to Discovery Bay Comics. And man, Eric Johnson, what is going on? What is up to you, my friend? Well, let's get back on into it. So the Royal Rumble starts off, and our first official match, man, they open it up with the SmackDown Women's Champion Asuka versus the man, Becky Lynch. And for this one, I'm going straight to Sam. Sam, what do you think about these two lovely ladies, Asuka and the man, Becky Lynch?
Well, I thought that this was a very good match. These ladies told a really good story, and Asuka really showed that she is willing to do anything to
Oh,
keep
man.
that title.
So powerful,
You know,
man.
and-
She was, but
Yeah, really
I could just feel the hits, Sam. What did you think about their hitting and their slams and stuff?
They did a really, really good job. I mean, man, they were really coming at each other. Tough.
Yeah, they were. One of my favorite spots in the match was when Asuka, I don't know what was going on. It looked like it could have been a swinging neck breaker or something, but it was off of the ring apron onto the damn like mat or the concrete area or whatever. Oh, that was painful right there. Well, Sam, what do you think about this match, man? It was stiff as hell, freaking hot match, lots of hard strikes, big ass tumbles.
Yeah.
Oh, it was called a Fisherman Buster. That's what the move is, a Fisherman Buster.
okay.
Kind of like you're getting them in the Fisherman Suplex, a la the Perfect Plex, but you just give it to them on the back, on the concrete. What do you give it out of 5 stars? What do you think?
I'd probably give him about 4.5 stars.
Hell
Whoa.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's liking the ladies.
I do. The ladies really seem to really do a great job bringing the matches.
Don't
telling
tell
the
Chad.
story.
Don't let Chad hear you.
I'm
Oh.
hearing it. I'm just sitting here getting angry.
No, let me tell you, I'm going to go real quick. I agree with Sam. I love the man, Becky Lynch. Asuka, I would probably have to say she's one of the queens of strong style. I mean, this match was just hard-ass strikes, just great slams, a second rope Beck Sploder. That was pretty damn good. And, a lot of great submission wrestling. And Asuka won with, God, it was like she did the Asuka lock, but she flipped over and bridged it. It almost looked like the Chancery by, our banana-eating guy. What was that guy's name, Woodard?
Are you talking the ending legend? That cattle mutilation?
No, it was Asuka's Asuka lock, but she flipped over and bridged it, and man, she made Becky tap out. And I was surprised that they did a clean loss here, but I guess she had to lose because more on that later. But I'm going to go ahead and give this match a 4 stars. How about you, Chad? You love the ladies.
So the ending of the match when Lynch put Asuka. I actually have notes here, Bueller.
Whoa. Damn.
Know about the ladies? Oh my god.
So let me see here. So Asuka turns it into that disarm her, and then Lynch turns it into a disarmer, and then Lynch puts Asuka into the Asuka lock. Asuka gets to the ropes, and she puts Lynch into the Asuka lock. Lynch struggles a little bit, and then Asuka turns that Asuka lock into that modified version of the cattle mutilation.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lynch taps. That whole segue was awesome. Those two women, and I said it to my wife because she was sitting downstairs. I said, that's the best right there. That's going to be one of the best matches tonight. So I'm going to go with a 4.
Damn, that's a good one. How about you, Bueller?
I mean, I thought it was okay. I liked it. I was surprised. It's pretty much what I expected them to have. Okay, they're both going to be hard-hitting matches. It was mainly kept on the ground except for a couple spots. There was a couple spots in there, like that one move where Asuka was on the ropes or outside the ring and they fell to the outside of the ring or whatnot. I didn't know what move that was, and somebody just quoted what that is, but it didn't look like they did that right.
Yeah.
And they looked like they hurt themselves when they did it, and so that was a little concerning. But the thing that got me was the clean finish, and I was like, okay, what just happened? Because Becky Lynch is supposed to be their it person right now, and she just tapped. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Sam before. I don't think Becky's gonna win. Somehow she's gonna have to get her way over to Raw in order to face Ronda Rousey. And basically what they did, they gave the win to Asuka. She looked really strong, and we were left with the impression, oh, Becky just tapped out, Mm-hmm. But that's not the impression that we left the night with, because obviously something happened down the road. And so for a very small time, I was like, what are they doing? They just kind of, in a way, buried their main person right now. And then sure enough, about an hour later, something else happened that changed the tide. So We'll get to that, but all in all, I thought the match was pretty good, very hard hitting. I think that feud is over. It's done, and so we're not going to see them again. I think we'll probably see something with Charlotte and Asuka or something like that. But I thought it was good. I'll probably give it like a 3.5.
Mm-hmm. Damn good. How about you, Seawood? Seawoodard 19, what did you think about the match between Asuka and Becky Lynch?
Gone too soon.
Man, maybe
I can hear him. I hear him.
Oh, wow. I don't hear him at all. Hey, Seawood, can you disconnect and come back in? There he goes. But, yeah, I don't know, man. What we're going to see. Woodard, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Damn, I still don't hear Woodard. Well, you know,
I hear you, buddy.
You hear him, Bueller?
I hear him. So, can you guys hear me? So, Seawood, just tell me what you're going to say, and I'll relay it.
Does the chat hear it?
No, they won't be able to hear it. Here, I'll be right back. I'll jump back in that call real quick. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Let's get back in here. There we go.
Anyway, are we still going? Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're still talking. Just me and you.
It's Woodard. Hey, Woodard. I think I just heard Woodard moving his mic or unplugging it or something. There he is.
All right.
All right, he's back, baby. He is back. Woodard, what did you think about Becky and Asuka?
Can you hear me now, Legend?
Heck yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
I can hear you. All right. Maybe we're back on track here. Sorry about that.
That's all.
But overall, I'm going to give the match a 4 out of 5. There were some spots I liked. I like the Beck exploder into the barricade on the outside. I like the trading of the submissions. Like, they did start like in the ropes, so you got to see the disarmer in the ropes, and you got to see the Asuka lock in the ropes, so that was pretty cool. Just to start off of the night, just to get the submissions traded. We got Rage Mode Asuka, which I always like, where she just starts shouting random Japanese and throwing elbows and knee strikes. That was really awesome. I do agree with Bueller, though, that whole move off the side of the ring, I guess it's supposed to be a fisherman's buster, but it just looked like a flying buster of everything. It looked like Becky legitimately hurt herself doing it, so I hate to see moves like that. But yeah, I agree. The ending, I was not a huge fan of. I would have, if you had to, I mean, Becky kind of had to lose here to keep Asuka strong, because I think they're going to book Asuka versus Charlotte for WrestleMania, and they got to kind of get some of this momentum back to Asuka after losing by tap out last year and doing nothing for most of 2018 after that. Mm-hmm. So I think, they're worried that they got to try to get Asuka back on Charlotte's level. So I think they were thinking that a tap out win here would go that far. But I just think, when Stone Cold's getting his big push, you never saw him tap out or give up. So it's a little hard to digest, but I understand why they did it. Based on stuff we'll talk about later. So, yeah, 4 out of 5 is what I'm giving this match.
Well, damn. Pretty good right there. Pretty good. I'm going to check the chat real quick again. We've got, not only do we have Eric Johnson, we also have Michael Johnson. Man, it's great to have the Johnsons here tonight, live here, watching and listening to the WWE Royal Rumble 2019 review. And also a big shout out to the CBG, the Comic Book Gallery. Some folks, Economics and Comics says, man, I could say that's what she said over and over every 30 seconds. And then Sheila says, ha, 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 that's what she said. That was pretty funny. But, man, Comic Book Gallery, man. It's great to see the gallery in the house. And Mr. Garrell, he agrees. He mostly skipped the pre-show. And there was a funny comment from earlier. Joe Ryan says, was waiting on Bueller, Chad, Seawood, Sam, and Legend to run in as the NWO and beat everyone down. Man, that's what we should have done. We should have done that to when this one girl, messed over our truth. But anyways, next match, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Bar versus The Miz and Shane McMahon, the greatest tag team in the world. C. Wood, what did you think about the tag team action tonight?
Those Shane punches. Every time I see those rabbit punches from Shane, I just like, why? But nonetheless, when you have the Bar involved, you're at least going to get decent action throughout. I really marked out for the Cesaro big spin, even though like Shane was like obsessed with keeping his shirt tucked in during the whole part of it. That was a little bit distracting.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I was like, what exactly? I was like, what is he doing? But nonetheless, I didn't even realize Shane could do a shooting Shane press, I guess. So that was kind of a cool finish. But I don't know, other than that, besides the cool purple royal ring gear that the Bar had, there's not much else I really wanted to call out in this match. It just didn't do that much for me. So I'm going to give it an even 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, what I'm going to go ahead and give it like a freaking 3 as well. I mean, didn't really do much. It was a good, they had their good spots, the classic stuff. You had the, off the middle rope or whatnot, Irish curse, the assisted Irish curse back breaker thing. I mean, like, you had the coast to coast that got turned into, like you said, it was a coast came up short and he got the spin. But that was a good long spin. I think the crowd really liked them long spins. I liked when Shane got in the ring, and it was the second time I think he got in the ring. He throws this little left hand rabbit punch, and then he clocks Sheamus with the right. I thought that was pretty funny. And Sheamus just went down hard. But, yeah, 3 out of 5 for me. Bueller, what did you think about this one?
I thought it was entertaining. I actually really enjoyed it. And here's the thing about Shane McMahon matches. They're all spot matches. Mm-hmm. That's all he does is just big spots. There's no, grapple in the center for a couple minutes or whatnot. It's literally spot after spot after spot. And when he's in tag matches, he's able to set up all those spots because his tag partner helps him out. Mm-hmm. And so we literally saw just about every spot that he does in this match. And they were all great. And when he busted out the shooting star, I'm sitting there, flashback of Brock Lesnar almost killing himself in Seattle. Yeah. And the one that Shane did, I'm sorry, that thing was perfect. I mean, his landing, it was right on, was it Cesaro? I can't remember. But it was spot on. I mean, right where you're supposed to land, full rotation. It looked amazing. I don't even remember anything about The Miz in the match because it was all the spots that I saw Shane do. And I thought they were a lot of fun. The one thing that kind of got me was when they won the match, when Shane and Miz won the match, it was literally, they celebrated like they won the lottery. And they seemed like the cameras just gave them like an extra 4 or 5 minutes of them just celebrating the massive victory of a tag team championship, which The Miz has been tag champions multiple times. He's been, a heavyweight champion. He's been Intercontinental U.S. title champion. But this one was like something extremely special because it was with Shane McMahon. Mm-hmm. And his dad was out there. They went and gave his dad a big hug and everything. And I thought that was kind of funny. And we didn't talk about this, but what do you guys think about the fact that there was no stage? They're just basically coming out from a dugout.
Yeah, I like that dugout.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool.
And there was they had to make a big S turn on the way to the ring.
In baseball terms, that's called a banana turn.
Yeah, but all in all, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It got the crowd into it, because of all the big spots. And it was a fun match. The big swing by Cesaro was just great. He just kept on going. Like C. Wood said, I don't know what the why he's holding his shirt the whole time. It didn't make any sense. But maybe he has a tattoo or something that he doesn't want anyone to see. So that's the only thing I can think of. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually one of my favorite matches of the night. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Hell yeah! How about you, Bueller? What did you think? I'm just kidding.
Well, I just told you what I thought. What would you tell you again?
Oh
Look
man.
off your dog.
No, I was good. I meant Chad. I don't know how I always get you and Chad confused, Bueller. But Chad, what did you think?
What we look like.
So just first off, Shane is 50 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a guy that took up wrestling in his late 30s, early 40s, and he like Bueller said, he does hit the spots. He's gonna him and Miz are gonna play back and forth. It's gonna be pretty funny. It's gonna be the comedy shtick for a while. This match, I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3 for this. How about you, Sam? What did you think about the Miz and Shane O'Mac versus the Bar?
Well, to be honest, it's just weird having Miz and Shane team up, and the whole, Miz's dad is there, and he's trying to make his dad proud, and it was just it's just kind of kooky and stuff, but I'd have to give it probably a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, good 3. Good solid 3 is always good. You got just 2. All 4 of the guys have seen a lot of action through the years, and I'm glad they got I'm glad they got some TV time. So that was good. So our next match is the Raw's Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks. And since, Chad, you love the ladies so much, tell us what you think about this match, Ronda and Sasha.
So I actually enjoyed this match a lot. There were a couple botches throughout the entire thing. I liked Sasha pulling out all the stops to the point where part of her costume or her ring attire had ripped. She was using it to choke out Ronda, but the finish on this match was super, super quick, and it showed Ronda's strength. Now, I know we talked about it earlier about the repercussions that come down the line, and before we get to the the Women's Royal Rumble, I think a little bit of that repercussions came out when, after the match, Ronda was chasing after Sasha to congratulate her or say, hey, thanks for the match, and Sasha turns around and walks back and shakes her hand, and she holds up 4 in her face.
Damn.
And then she just turned around and walked away. So I think there's a lot to come, and I think there's a little bit of storytelling, and I think the women are doing a really good job at telling that story through the slow burn. Yeah. So overall, this match, 3.5.
3-5. I want to go with this one, but first I want to check the chat real quick. We got some new folks in the chat. Great to see everyone out tonight, man. We still got 16 watching. We got Stacy Gillette. He's in the house, man. Stacy's a guy who got some cool books. Make sure y'all sub up old Stacy Gillette. We got Comic Noob. What's up, Comic Noob? He thinks the old tag match was the worst match of the night, and Josh Ellswick agrees. Definitely the worst match of the night. And then Comic Book Gallery said Shane, he had a tramp stamp. That's why he was trying to keep his clothes on. That was funny, man.
I have one.
Oh, the tramp. You got to love some good tramp stamps. The Sasha and Ronda Rousey match, it was pretty good, Like, I like both of them. They both had a lot of, submission moves and stuff like that, so I thought that was pretty cool. I was really wanting freaking Sasha to win, but I kind of figured that wasn't going to happen regardless. But she gave Ronda a damn good match. And as far as Ronda goes, I think Sasha was Ronda's toughest foe to date, man. Love that stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one a good solid 3 stars. Sam, some more good lady action. Sasha and Ronda Rousey. What'd you think, Sam?
I wasn't too sure how this match was going to go. And I thought Sasha did really well. And I think I think this would have to be one of the better women's matches, besides the earlier one.
Yeah.
So I'd This one I have to give it a 4 out of 5.
All right, that's good stuff. Hell yeah. How about you, Bueller?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with Chad, and I really like this match. So, the one thing, actually, to be honest with you, when I'm watching this match, it looked really clunky, and that's the first thing that came to mind. Like there was a lot of spots to where they were hitting spots, but they weren't following through on them, and they just kind of laid down when there was probably supposed to be a little bit more rotation on them and stuff like that. And there was multiple things like that in this match. The submission holds looked pretty good. They looked like they were transitioning on those pretty well. But the actual like physical spots, the hits and stuff like that, or the running hits and stuff, they just looked off. And so I kind of have a problem with that. And then I've noticed that, and I said this to Sam, it looks like Ronda Rousey's finisher, she's changed it up a little bit, and it doesn't look like it flows as good as it used to. Like we saw a preview of when she hit like Stephanie McMahon with it, and it looked a lot cleaner. And then when she hit Sasha Banks with her finisher move, not the submission, it's that move when she has them on their shoulders.
Yeah, that Piper's Pit, that's what they call it, the Piper's
Pit.
The
Piper's Pit. It doesn't look clean anymore. It looks very small, and the impact doesn't really seem to be there. I don't know what she did. It's like her arm placement is different than what it used to be. I thought the storytelling was pretty good. I really enjoyed the fact, like Chad said, when the wardrobe kind of came apart on Sasha Banks, and then she used it during the match. I thought that was pretty smart. And the nice thing is Sasha Banks is known for doing stuff like that, kind of innovating and kind of rolling with it and stuff. So I enjoyed that. I don't think we're going to see them wrestle each other again anytime soon. I think they're just going to roll. I think you're going to see Becky Lynch on Raw on Monday, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to build it from there.
Damn.
But it was okay. It was one of the better Rousey matches. She's hit and miss, I think, especially depending on her opponent. And obviously Sasha's a pretty good opponent. So all in all, I give it a solid 2.5 or 3.
Yeah, all right. Awesome stuff. How about you, C. Wooded 19? Which one of these girls is more fine?
Yeah, this is probably the best Sasha Banks match I have seen in recent memory by far.
Since her and Bayley at TakeOver?
Well, she had some good matches with Charlotte on the main roster, but pretty close, yeah. Definitely, since Charlotte's moved to SmackDown, Sasha has lost a lot of steam, and she just hasn't had that opponent. And somehow, I saw on Twitter there was this video posted on WWE's Twitter. She knew to fight Ronda, she was going to have to do more submission work and, try to go, toe-to-toe with her. And what did she do? She went and hunted out not the man in the women's division, but the man of 205 Live, Drew Gulak. She trained with Gulak to learn submissions better in this match. So,
Jesus.
The secret's out on Gulak, so Sasha knows. She knows what's going on. But
damn, Gulak?
Back to Gulak.
Holy hell. So
back to the match. There were some cool spots. I like this. There was a shoulder and wrist submission by Sasha I hadn't seen her do before. It's kind of like a good way to lead into the bank statement. So I thought that was pretty cool. And once again, it's they took notes from the Becky Asuka match earlier, where they were also doing some submission trading and stuff. And it just always makes sense to me. They're always trying to go for their submissions and getting those ropes and stuff. So I always like seeing that type of wrestling. The one spot I didn't like is where Ronda finally gets the armbar, but it's on the outside. But Sasha taps anyway. It's just a huge moment of weakness, and I don't understand why they do spots like that. There's just no point to do that, really. I understand doing the armbar on the outside, but actually tapping out to it, that's just
that's
stupid.
what I do. Whenever I get you on the outside of the ring, I'll try to tap you out there just for fun. Oh man! But
I did like the finishing sequence that started with Sasha using the ring gear to try to apply the bank statement and get that extra torque on it. And then, I kind of see Bueller's point on, Ronda hitting the Piper's Pit. But, my theory was she was a little bit weakened from the whole match. And she just couldn't put 100%. But since it was such just a knockout, drag-out brawl and submission warfare, I could live with it for now. I thought it was a very good match. I thought it was just as good as Becky and Asuka earlier, so I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 as well.
All right. Damn good. All right. Well, we got some more folks in the chat. We got the guy that, got me to do videos in the first place, my main man, Dut Rank, all the way from Tennessee. Man, Dut Rank, good to have you here tonight. He says, not the best PPV, dumb tag match, WWE Championship match, and the squash match. He said, Women's Rumble was good, and the NXT people showing up was cool. Then he said, where was EC3? That is,
That's a good question.
I wish EC3 and Lars Sullivan and some of these other
Well,
names.
Lars is laid down.
He's laying it down.
No, he's not going to be around for a while.
And then I was hoping Velveteen was going to come out and get a little
we get Velveteen at the halftime.
I know, right? The halftime heat. Sunday night heat returns in the form of the halftime heat. Y'all make sure y'all check that out next Sunday night at WWE Network. Man, I tell you, Royal Rumble, they are all great, but you are the great legend, and you know that's right, Sheila. Count Von Strange the fourth in the house. He's hanging out. And Eric Johnson said Asuka and Becky was better, way better. So I like both women's matches. But, the next match we have is more women all the time. The big time, the 30 women Royal Rumble match. And, man, there was just so much action. I don't even remember the first person that came out. Do y'all remember the first person?
Lacey Evans.
No, I listed all of them.
All right, good. I'll start with you, Woodard.
Yeah. So
we're gonna go through all 30. Really?
Yeah, I'll go through all. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'll give you the surprise entrance.
The women,
Oh my gosh.
but we're going to do it anyway.
So,
I mean, this is the biggest botchamania. All right, let's do this.
So your first entrant is Liberty Bell from Glow. By that I mean Lacey Evans. So, boy, she needs some work. She's got a long way to go. Not sure how she's already on the main roster.
I thought it was RuPaul.
Okay, and then my other highlights are Mandy Rose coming out, and you have Graves commentating this match. Kind of close to the '92 Rumble with Ric Flair being in it, and you have Bobby the Brain Heenan like, oh my God, where's Flair? Where's Flair? And years later you get Graves like, oh my God, where's Mandy Rose? So I really like that.
Hey, Woodard, is he dating Mandy Rose?
He's married.
He's married?
Yeah, Graves is married. I'm pretty sure.
I literally thought maybe he's dating her, because you could hear the banter going back with the other. With what's her name?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe they're dating. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
there was some. No, that's fine. Yeah, there's definitely some off commentary all night, and I don't know. There was a part where Renee Young just broke for a good 30 seconds. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but they definitely pointed out on commentary. She's like, yeah, Renee's brain glitched. I'm pretty sure is what Graves said. But anyway, you guys were talking about botches earlier. I think the first botch I really called out was when Peyton Royce came out. And there was this botched spinning heel kick on Nikki Cross, which, by the way, Nikki Cross was really over the whole time she was in the ring. Then you had number 10. Here's what I want to point out. Number 10 was Tamina, because every time she's in these things, I forget she's on the main roster. So you had a surprise entrant come out, number 11, Xia Li, the first Chinese superstar. So she actually, I thought, looked pretty good here in terms of striking ability and all that good stuff. Then the Iconics tossed Sarah Logan, sorry. That's a lot to keep up with. They tossed Nikki Cross, and the crowd was not happy at all with that. My next highlights at entrant number 14, we get one of my favorite ladies, Kairi Sane, running with a telescope in her eye and all. Marked out for that moment. That made me laugh quite a bit. 15, you get Maria. And then there was kind of a botch here. Where for some reason Charlotte and Lacey Evans were staring each other down, waiting for Maria to hop in and interfere, but Maria took so long to get to the ring. They kind of stared at each other for just an awkward amount of time. So that was a little weird. And then you get Naomi, and they have the whole Mandy and Naomi feud with the Kofi spots, and botched Kofi spots and that stuff. 17, you get another surprise with Candice LeRae from NXT, so it was good to see her. 18 comes out, you get a highlight of, in my opinion, the female R-Truth, Alicia Fox. So for some reason, they have this whole spot with Maria and Alicia Fox where Fox gets turned on when Maria steps on her captain's cap, and it doesn't damage it at all. And even the commentator's like, wow, that hat's really durable. But you know who didn't care about this spot? The crowd. They just sat on their hands during this whole thing. Mm-hmm. So that was an awkward moment. But at 19, who saved it? You get Casey Catanzaro, the American Ninja Warrior girl who competed in the Mae Young Classic. And
did
she
very
looked
good.
Really good in this match. I think she is going to be a big star for them, I think, one day. So she definitely got the crowd back. The commentators were even marking out for her, so she's going to be big. So it's good she got some cool spots. 20 had Vega from Street Fighter come out. That was a funny cosplay.
That was cool.
I know you guys like botches, so at number 22 you get Dana Brooke, who immediately messes up a powerbomb on Casey from earlier, drops her basically right on her head. So thank you, Dana Brooke, for coming in. 23 and 24 surprises, you get Io Shirai, the Empress of the Sky or something like that, or the Lady of the Sky.
Yeah, one of the best moonsaults ever.
Yeah, absolutely. So she almost eliminated herself, but luckily she didn't take that extra step in the ring. But she had a moonsault and got rid of the Riot Squad. So thank you so much for that, Io Shirai. We appreciate that. 24 gave us Rhea Ripley, so very happy to see her in the Rumble. I know Triple H is very big on Rhea Ripley, and you can tell because she was booked actually fairly strong here. She had a few eliminations on Dana Brooke, Zelina Vega.
I thought that was Baron Corbin before he cut his hair off at the end of the match.
She came out strong. I mean, she definitely had.
Oh yeah. Number 28 is probably the next notable mention because you get Lana. So this is where you get the big storyline of her getting hurt earlier in the Rusev match. Meanwhile, 29, Nia Jax comes out. Yawn. Crowd's not happy about that, but she gets eliminations. Carmella's at 30, of course, and this is when, who do we get? Finlay. Finlay comes out and checks on Lana. Becky sees her fellow Irishman Finlay out there and negotiates that number 28 spot. So we use this Irish camaraderie, and somehow Finlay has the authority to grant people spots in the Rumble. So Finlay tells Becky to go ahead and enter at 28. So, there's a lot of eliminations. Basically, all you need to know, it comes down to Becky and Charlotte, and this is where the match gets extremely good for me. These two, someone put it on Twitter perfectly. It's your Rock and Austin of the division right now. And just, the facial expressions, the emotions these two have against each other, there's nothing really like that in the company right now. So it's always great to see those two interact. So just an excellent finishing sequence with Becky winning the Rumble. And, she's probably going to go on to fight Ronda Rousey, join the Raw brand, and give us that WrestleMania main event. So I'm going to go ahead and give this. Botches and all, I could put those aside because it's the Rumble. They always happen. I'm just going to go ahead and give this 4.5 out of 5 because I was legitimately entertained from start to finish. I thought it was a very tightly booked Rumble. Could have subbed out a couple people like, your Dana Brooks and your Liv Morgans and Sarah Logan's. But beyond that, it was a pretty tight Rumble. 4.5 out of 5 for me.
You know what? We're gonna go. Let me check the chat real quick. King Larry, we got King Larry the First. He's a huge Lars Sullivan fan, and if you want to see him do his best Lars Sullivan impersonation, check out King Larry the First, all one word, King Larry the First, and you can check out his Lars Sullivan. Oh my goodness! And we've got Sheila Flaming donated $2 through Super Chat. She says a shout out to Sam's Tangled Web. So Sam, we'll have you talk. What did you think about the 30 women Rumble match? Was there some favorite ladies you like seeing, and what did you think about just all the action?
Well, first off, I gotta say thank you to Sheila for that super chat. That's pretty awesome for her to do that.
That's awesome, man. Thank you, Sheila.
That's pretty cool. But I have to say, this was kind of a boring women's Rumble right here.
That's why I like Sam. That's
No,
really sick.
because I was, I
Uh,
was like, man, I wanted to see some like Trish Stratus in there,
Maybe some
you know,
Lita, go old school.
or Lita. There was a lot of these people I don't really know because they're from NXT
well,
and
Yeah.
maybe you
stuff.
should start watching it.
Yeah, maybe I should, but
Oh,
I'm not.
Jack.
I'm just totally not into it right now. Uh, but I was very happy when Maria got booted out because
He does
I'm
not
not.
like Maria.
I'm not.
I don't know why,
I'm not
but
a.
he was pissed
I'm not a
when
fan of.
Maria came out.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Maria.
No Maria Kanellis.
No,
No,
no, no.
Sam is
And you know
not
what?
a fan.
And you know what? I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna get into it right now.
Oh,
I think this is something that Bueller and I disagree on, and I'm gonna say I am kind of a fan of Nia Jax. I know that's not a popular opinion,
well, everybody gets one.
so so. But with that said, this was just an okay women's Royal Rumble, and I give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, 3 out of 5. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine. I thought it was okay. I would have given it a 3 like Sam, but I'm going to give it a 4 because Becky did win. I thought Vega coming out in the Vega Street Fighter costume was really kick-ass, and I kind of laughed a little bit when she was under the ring apron, and then like a couple minutes later, Hornswoggle started chasing her.
Oh man.
That's true.
That was so damn freaking funny. I loved it, man. It was great to see Hornswoggle goofing around again in WWE, but I was really glad to see Becky come in there and figure out a way to enter into the Rumble. And then, and it was good to see Fit Finlay, fellow Irish guy, give her the A-OK to do so. So, yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. And real quick, Duck Rank, my buddy Duck Rank says, this was a good Rumble because they didn't waste spots on the old-timers, in my opinion. We'll get to that. We'll get to that Double J slap nuts here in a little bit. But, man, we'll talk about some wasting some spots. But, damn, what did you think, Bueller, about the Royal Rumble? The women's Rumble.
Well, there's some things I liked and some things I didn't like. So last year was the first female Royal Rumble, and so last year they invited a lot of the previous female wrestlers, which I thought was great. And I didn't want them to do that again, and they didn't. Mm-hmm. They used their current talent because they have so much talent between the main roster and NXT.
Yep.
And so I'm kind of happy that they did that, so everybody got a chance to shine. Because I think last year was about a 50-50 split. It was like 15 of the regular female wrestlers and then 15 of the past female wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I like the fact that they had some NXT females on there that I didn't expect them to have on there. The Ninja Warrior girl was just awesome. I had no idea she would show up at all. I don't think I've even seen her wrestle. I didn't catch her on the Mae Young Classic thing. But that was a lot of fun. As soon as she came out, I go, oh, that's who that is. So that was a nice little spot. I liked, we referenced earlier the match between Asuka and Becky Lynch, and obviously Becky Lynch lost, and the payoff was she was going to take the spot in the Royal Rumble, that's what we got. And so as soon as she took that spot, it was pretty much guaranteed, yep, they're going to put it on her. There's no way they're going to have her lose a match, go into the Royal Rumble, and then lose the Royal Rumble. So the story was written as soon as you saw her walk out from the back. And they played it very well, and I just, at the very end of the match, and, Seawood did a great job running down all the people that were in there because I don't have a list, so I appreciate that. But at the end, when we had Charlotte, when we had Becky, and Becky's just sitting there saying, "You're not taking this from me. You've taken enough from me." That was great storytelling right there. Mm-hmm. And they played it off great. It fit really well. And the person who won should have won. It opens up the window. And they made sure to point out at the beginning of both Rumbles that the winner gets the title match of their choosing on the brand. Okay? Mm-hmm. They pointed pointed that out both times. It's not like if you're on SmackDown, you get to challenge the SmackDown person. They pointed out that you get to choose whatever brand you want to have the title match for. We obviously know that Becky is going to pick Ronda Rousey, and that's what we're going to get for WrestleMania. So that's all set up. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Charlotte will probably, like I said, go for Asuka or something like that, or a four-way. But I really enjoyed most of it. There's some people, though, can't stand Nia Jax. I mean, I really... every time she enters the ring, I'm like, somebody's going to get hurt. And the same thing with Tamina. Every time she enters the ring, I feel like somebody's going to get hurt because I don't even, and especially Tamina, because she's been around for a long time, and she looks dangerous in there, and I worry sometimes, and I wish that those spots were given to some other people.
Yeah.
But all in all, I thought it was good. I like that we had all the current roster on there, and I liked the storytelling at the end. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
All right. How about you, Chad? What did you think? And Chad, what did you think about that NXT UK wrestler, that girl? She was pretty powerful.
No, I enjoyed her, but I have to talk about the Lacey Evans chick at the beginning, right?
Yeah, that Southern girl. Class
Yeah,
girl with class.
Classy ladies.
Yeah.
Lacey and Natalia went at it. There was a incident where they're both laying on the ground. Natalia does something and flips right up, and she tries to do a springboard up. Yeah, a kick up, and she got about a half an inch off the ground and laid there, and then kneeled up. Later in the match, she went to kick somebody in her stomach, and she didn't even come close to the stomach. The person is standing there, like, just shaking their head at her. I mean, and didn't they just bring her up to the main roster?
I think it was her first match on the main roster.
Okay, so there are a lot more talented people that were in that Rumble that should be on the main roster versus somebody that had, like, I think of all the wrestlers that were in that, she struggled the most. She really, really did. Yeah, I hate Nia Jax. I think she's awful.
Come on, man. She's brand new. Can't you just give her a little bit of a chance?
No. I mean, they put her on the main roster for a reason. She needs to know what
she's brand new. She's not like Tamina that's been around like 8 or 10 years. You know, she's not coming back at all. Oh, God.
I give this match a 2.5.
Oh! Damn. Oh, man. Well, we got Sheila says, you guys are blind, but women have power. And she said she'd seen Hornswoggle and Modesto. He's pretty funny. And welcome JMO. He says, Beastie Boy. That's what old Braun Strowman likes to call. He's like, Beastie Boy. Well, let's see what the next match was. And, here, the next match, I'll go ahead and talk about this one. This was the match for the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, versus the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now, this match, oh my God, I don't know if it was just me or I was tired or, after watching that long-ass women's Royal Rumble match, but I started falling asleep during this Daniel Bryan match. I mean, I really had to keep my head, awake because I kept, drifting into sleep. But, man, what a long-ass match. In the crowd, it was like they were either dead or they went to the bathroom. I mean, it just didn't feel like a big arena-style match, with all the, chants and everything like that. But the match itself, man, they had some pretty hard-ass moves, like hard strikes, slams, very strike-based, ground and pound. But I guess that doesn't work well with fucking 48,000 people. What the hell were they doing? But, they were probably like me. They were probably just getting some Z's in. But I'm going to go ahead and give this match a 2 because I woke up and then Eric Rowan was there and he was kind of...
That made the match. That gets it another point all by
He was dressed like Daniel Bryan, and it was like donning a fucking flannel signaling he was one of the Planeteers. You know, like a Captain Planet, the Planeteers. But he was one of the Planeteers ready to help his old buddy, Daniel Bryan. I just hated this at all. I didn't see Harper. I prefer Harper. I don't like Rowan. Give me Harper. You know, give me freaking Bray Wyatt. Give me someone other than Rowan. He's so horrible. But, yeah, the whole thing, it was just horrible.
Horrible.
I'm going to go ahead and switch this thing to a effing 1. Because I know AJ. I think AJ's up in the air. I think AJ's going to finish his contract up. And then I kind of think he's either going to, you know, renew the contract maybe if they give him less dates and make him like a Lesnar, or he's just going to AEW. But this match, I'm changing. It's a 1, all the way 1. Chad, how about you, man? What did you think about Daniel Bryan and AJ?
I think Daniel Bryan right now is awful, and I think he's forming a stable, and it's going to be Eric Rowan and that Evans girl.
Damn.
From the
Pairing Bryan up with the shitty wrestlers. Oh, man.
What are they doing with him? I mean, his shtick is like, you're a sloth. You're boring. I'm all about the earth, and oh my god, yeah, blah 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 blah. Shut up.
But his heel,
Shut up.
him being a heel, that's some heel heat. Because I really hate that asshole. I want him off the TV. I want either bring the Yes Movement back or have AJ cripple this guy. Something. Oh, fucking Daniel, man. Yeah. So you're voting 1. You're voting 1 then.
Yeah.
1 on that motherfucker. Sorry. It's just, God, I love both of these wrestlers. And, man, you turn back the time, like, what, 10, 12, 15 years ago, whenever they were in Ring of Honor, they slaughtered it. They slayed it. But now it's just kind of like they're just going through the motions. Crowd was
I tell you what, I
dead.
think Vince is actually nervous about All In.
He probably
He's
is.
offering right now. They are offering current contracts for 2019 50% increases in their current salaries.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I heard he's really trying to keep them. So, man. So what did you give it though?
I'm gonna give it a 2.
A 2. And Comic Noob's laughing. Count Von Strange, I didn't care for Nia in the Rumble. Eric Johnson. Daniel Bryan does make a great heel. And then Dutt Rank says Daniel Bryan has the same gimmick that CJ Perkins did in NXT. Yep. How about you, Bueller? What did you think about these two old timers?
First off, I like both these guys.
Mhm.
Both these guys do awesome things. This is a perfect example of poor match placement.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just came off watching the Rumble, and everyone's doing the countdown, and everyone's hyped up for the, every 10 seconds or every minute we got a new person, and they're counting down 10, 9, 8, 1. And so after the Rumble match, everybody's kind of, taking a break and breather. And this is where that match was placed. And it wasn't a good place for the match. Because both the guys are really good and can have a good match. But if everyone's worn out from what they just saw, it's going to get wasted. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what this match did. It got wasted. Because these two guys could really tear the house down. And they were talking at the pre-show. They're like, this is going to be the show stealer type match on the pre-show from the announcers and stuff.
Yeah. And
how much they were looking forward to this one. I think this match needed something extra to kind of build the hype up, like a ladder match type thing between the two. I think that would have kept the crowd popped a little bit more than what they were, because they were dead. And this kind of reminds me of the match, I don't know if I think it was the last pay-per-view between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, where it should have been a good match, but everybody was like, this is boring, and they were out of it because they just saw something really good, and the placement wasn't that great. So this was that same type of match. Two good wrestlers putting on a pretty good match, hitting their spots, but it just didn't play well for the time it was put on. And that's too bad, because we both know that these guys are just two of the best. I mean, I think AJ Styles is maybe the top guy in the company, or top 2 or 3 in the company as far as performance-wise goes. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Bryan is getting back to that level, what he once was before he was injured. The spots were pretty clean. I thought the whole thing with Eric Rowan coming out, I mean, I was like, that killed any momentum it might have had by him coming, and it was such a waste.
Yeah.
And
if they were gonna bring him out, they should have brought his ass out 10 minutes earlier, so I didn't have to fall asleep during it.
Yeah, and their Bludgeon Brother gimmick was, then the last reboot that they did for him. They rebooted him so many times, and that was just a few months ago when they did that. And it's like, where's his little hammer and stuff, and I don't know. I mean, Sam was sitting here and he was thinking, oh, is Bray Wyatt going to come out? Is Luke Harper? Is this going to be the new Wyatt family type thing? And that would have been. I would have liked to see Bray Wyatt come out. I think that would have been cooler than Luke Harper. Because where is Bray Wyatt? I don't think he's hurt. I just don't think they have a storyline for him. And obviously, Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan have a history together. And I think that would have been quite a bit better because I would love to see Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt together or something like that. So, anyway, I didn't, 4-match placement. I thought the match was okay. I'll give it like a 2.5. And I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if they continue this feud or they go somewhere else because it's too bad. I felt bad for both of the guys, to be honest with you.
Dan, what's your thoughts on the match, Woodard?
Oh man, I couldn't agree with Legend and Chad more on this match. I think Daniel Bryan is the best character they've came up with for a while. In my opinion, he's at the top of the company right now, the top of the food chain. I enjoy everything he's been doing since his heel turn because let's face it, when the end of his babyface run before he turned, he's getting a little bit stale. The yeses, they just didn't have the big pop like they used to, especially when he came back and even when he was general manager. People were kind of just getting tired of the yes movement. It felt like it was just kind of ran its course. So. Yeah, I'm extremely happy for the work that Daniel Bryan's put in. Like I said, the highlight of the pre-show is him cutting a promo on a burger. So that definitely did it for me. And I do agree 100% with Bueller. The booking of this match and where it was placed on the card completely killed the crowd. I mean, if you think about it, this whole pay-per-view, it was just matches and videos for the next matches. So you put a Royal Rumble right in the middle of the show. You don't even have like a goofy like comedy segment like an R-Truth or somebody in the wrong locker room. Usually, just give the crowd that extra couple minutes, bathroom break, get their cheeseburger that Daniel Bryan can make fun of. And yeah, there were really no breaks. So the crowd, I mean, unfortunately, it's just turned out to be the one match that the crowd got tired during. But I'll be honest, I was ready to give this match 5 stars, and I'll get to that in a second. But my highlights were. There was this nasty spot where like AJ got thrown in the top like little ring post thing, and that's where he busted open his nose. So he had to pretty much wrestle the whole match with a busted face and nose. So kudos to AJ for going through that. I like the I have till 5 is back for Daniel Bryan. He pulled that out of his American Dragon heel gimmick, so I'm glad that I have till 5 is back. I've been waiting for it for a minute, so he's telling the ref the way it is. There was also a deadly-looking dragon suplex on AJ that dropped him right on his head. So, but hey, that's the dragon suplex for you. There was also
that's that full. You get him in the full
Nelson.
The full
Nelson.
And give him a suplex on their head.
Yeah. So the fact that they'd even try that's pretty crazy. AJ had a beautiful reverse DDT on the outside using the barricade. Really nice, seamless move. Once again, just like the 2 women's matches, like I said, the booking is probably what killed this match. They did a lot of great exchanges with submissions like the other 2 women's title matches. So this is probably the 3rd time you've seen this type of match tonight. But nonetheless, the reason I like this probably the best out of those 2 is because you had Daniel Bryan targeting the shoulder and arm of AJ Styles, which the LeBell Lock uses to weaken those points. And then you had AJ trying to, do the dragon screws and weaken the knee and ankle of Daniel Bryan so he can lock in that calf crusher. So everything they did made sense, in my opinion. I did like when Bryan finally got the LeBell on, he used like AJ's bloody nose for extra torque. So he grabs onto the nose instead of the face and just yanks it back as far as he can. So just a gruesome-looking LeBell Lock. I dug that. But you know what kept this? I'm giving him 5 out of 5. That someone like went to craft services right in that buffet line, and they told Eric Rowan he's got to walk out there and do whatever the hell it was he did. So yeah, thanks for that, Eric Rowan. So they couldn't have picked. Could they have picked the worst person for this? I have no idea, but I feel like they're going to create like a CM Punk style straight edge society, pretty much that same type of thing. Except obviously we're going to get like Eric Rowan in the gallows spot, I guess. So that the finish hurt the match for me. So I'm just going to put it at 4 out of 5. But before that awful finish, it was running 5 out of 5 quality for me. I really enjoyed this match. It's just a shame that the crowd there didn't.
Yeah. How about you, Sam? These two guys, man, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. What did you think of the match?
Well, I was really looking forward to this match. There seemed to be a lot of hype surrounding it. But once it got going, I don't know. It just fell a bit flat for me. And then when Rowan came out, I was like, oh, Bray Wyatt might come out, and then that never happened. I'm like, oh, this just sucked the wind out of me. So I gotta give this a 2 out of 5. So.
Yeah, well, let me tell y'all a little thing, man. When what's his face came in there, Rowan. I mean, he gave the dumbest move. It was like he didn't even know what he wanted to do. Did he want to do the Von Erich claw, or did he want to do I guess it's not a choke slam. I guess it was a claw slam because he had his hand on in the claw and he did a slam on it.
Throwing.
Yeah. Oh man, but you know what? There's this funny line IGN said. It's so funny. It says. Obviously, this means the Bludgeon Brothers are kaput, but will Harper join Bryan too for some sort of new vegan Wyatt family? I'm in. I mean, who better to care for our woods? And then he says, or how about this? What if Daniel Bryan never left the Wyatt family? For years, he's been in it. I just creeped myself the F out. That was some line I read on IGN. So, yeah, just kind of weird. I mean, at least Daniel Bryan gets to retain and most likely will face somebody at WrestleMania, which I'm hoping it'll be Mustafa Ali if he could somehow get him a title shot. At least get a title shot. Not saying he has to carry the strap or anything, but I think that would be pretty cool. But here we go. This one was the one I was looking forward to. Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champ, versus Finn Balor. What is it? The ordinary man that can do extraordinary things or some crap like that is what Corey's always saying. So, he's getting a little push here. I'll start with this. I really love this match. It was really quick out of the freaking get-go. Finn got some good offense in, but, Brock shook it off and did a freaking belly-to-belly suplex on him and tossed him. Finn rolled out of the ring, just getting his shit together. Goes back in. Has some more action. But, I mean, it was kind of back and forth. Man, when he came off with the coup de grace, I was ready to go. I was ready to raise my hands up, hooting and hollering and getting excited off the couch. And then all of a sudden he turned it into the Kimura lock, man. Old Brock Lesnar and his submission, maneuver of choice, the Kimura lock. And then Finn quickly tapped out. It was a decent match. It was a quick match. Brock did good. He sold for a lot of Finn's offense. He got that slammed into the corner of the table to kind of, quotes, here's my quotes, fake ass injury. But that kind of, and then Corey and Michael said, oh, well, he did have to diverticulitis or whatever. Yours. So they kind of had a good little story going, but in the end, Brock Lesnar won. But I'm going to go ahead and give this a 4-star because, Lesnar was selling and Finn was looking good getting his shit in. So getting the shit in for Finn, 4 stars. How about you, Sam? I'm going to go to Sam on this one. Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor. Do you think Finn maybe should have wore the demon paint?
Actually, I was kind of looking forward to seeing him doing the demon thing. I haven't seen that in a while. Mm-hmm. But I think that this was a pretty good match. They were saying David versus Goliath type thing, and Finn got some pretty good moves in and stuff. But Brock Lesnar is like Juggernaut. I mean, he's just almost unstoppable once he gets going. And yeah, I'd have to give this a 4 out of 5. So.
Damn good match. You got to love David and Goliath, man. Seawood 19. What do you think, man?
My first note was no demon, Finn is screwed. So that's pretty much the main note I took from this. The other random note I took is apparently Brock and Jimmy Johns are done. There was no Jimmy Johns logo on those Brock tights.
Yep.
So someone put Jimmy Johns tramp stamp. Like, I don't know if he's got, a Jimmy Johns tattoo, so he doesn't have to put on his tights anymore. But, goofy notes aside, I did overall thought the match was fine for what it was. I like the fast-paced start that Finn had, where he just charges immediately at Brock, trying to use his speed over strength. But yeah, I would have liked, obviously, if this match went 5 more minutes, but we know that's not going to happen because, Brock only wrestles for like 10 minutes at a time, 6 months out of the year. So there's that. I would have liked. I really enjoyed the double stomp, but I would have liked it if he would have kicked out and then got the Kimura lock on instead of kind of almost no-selling the double stomp and putting the Kimura on. But nonetheless, I was happy to see his submission hold back because it's been a while since he's actually pulled that one out of his arsenal. And I thought it was weird. Like after the match, I felt like Brock kind of went into business for himself. And then just started hitting in all of his signature and finishing moves on Finn after the match. So I thought that was a little weird because he usually doesn't have to do stuff like that. So I don't know if he just went into business for himself or they're trying to, finally get him more over as a heel. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 overall, but I do shout out the match. Unfortunately, the last match, even though I thought it was really good, the crowd didn't care about it. The crowd was pretty excited to see if Finn could pull it off or not. So it did wake up the crowd. And it did its job there.
Damn. Hell yeah, man. How about you, Chad? What did you think about this one?
I honestly think there's still going to be repercussions from this one, just because of how they finished it and also how Brock kept on going back. I think you are going to see the demon. I think Vince may realize, hey, these people want this belt on somebody else. I think if you don't put the belt on Finn or do something to keep him in the main event, I think you're going to lose him.
Yep. I think
so I'm going to go with a 3.5 overall on this. I mean, Brock is, let's face it, Finn carried the match, and Brock sold a little bit, but as soon as he could, it was all stiff no sells. So he's the modern day Ultimate Warrior.
I know, man. Freaking Brock. Classic Brock wins again. Bueller, what do you think about Finn Balor and Brock? Are you a Finn Balor fan?
Yeah, I'm a Finn Balor fan, and I see it a little bit differently than Chad. I actually think that Brock is actually one of the better sellers that there is. He doesn't sell it for long. Like, he doesn't he sells it in the moment, and then like a few seconds later, he can do his thing. And that's kind of a trait that he's always had when he's wrestled. I've noticed he's always been a good seller in the moment, really quick. Like there was a thing when actually he saved Finn during the match. I think it was like Lesnar was on the outside. Finn went to go do his first leap over the top rope, and Lesnar wasn't there, and Finn was going to hit the floor, and Lesnar jumped in, so that way Finn didn't just jump right out and hit the floor type thing. And I saw that right away. I thought that was pretty cool that he jumped in and kind of saved him, took the hit, that way he wouldn't have just smashed on the floor. And then the whole getting hit on the edge of the table thing, and the crotch shots on the table, I guess. I thought that was actually pretty funny. Actually, Sam said something pretty funny about that. He said, at the end of the match, he said, "Oh, he needs to go home now and have Sable kiss him and make him all better." So I was like, "Sam, cut loose and stuff," But I thought the match was pretty good. It started out different from the other matches like that. It had Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. to where they mounted a comeback type thing. It started off on those matches, Brock was hitting him pretty hard, and then they kind of took it, and then they mounted a comeback, and then eventually lost. In this match, it was the opposite. Finn started out really strong and stayed really strong for most of the match and stuff, and then Lesnar pulled it out in the end. So they just kind of flipped the script on it type thing, and so I like that. They might set it up again with the demon thing, but I think Seawood was right. I think Lesnar probably kind of went a little off script at the very end, just because I don't know if he was happy with that ending type thing, and just kind of, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, it wasn't like he grabbed a kendo stick and started beating him with it or whatnot. He just hit a couple of his signature moves that he didn't hit during the match because he was selling the nut shots that he took from the table. And so I liked it. I thought it was entertaining, and the crowd got back into it, so that was good, and it set up, it got people excited for the next match and stuff. So all in all, I'll probably give it a 3.5.
All right. Hell yeah. Good times, man. Good times. And we've got the final match of the night, the 30-man Royal freaking Rumble. It opens up with the first guy to come out. He's already in the ring, and it is Elias. And Elias is doing his guitar thing, and the fans love them some Elias. They always want to walk with Elias, And Double J comes out. JEFFJARRET. He was there, man. Slapnuts was there. What a damn waste. I mean, he just gets thrown over, just gets screwed. It was just so dumb. But, at least it was, I hadn't seen Jarrett in a while, so I guess that was kind of cool. But I don't know. In some of my things, and I'll go to Woodard here in a minute, I didn't like R-Truth getting screwed at the end. I loved how Baron Corbin runs into the ring, does the whole runs to the corner, slides out of the ring, comes back in. I like that classic move. And I love the Dolph Ziggler surprise. I still don't know if he did the comedy show before or after, but you gotta love Ziggler. And Ziggler got revenge on Drew McIntyre that defeated him in that cage match like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I thought that was so awesome that Ziggler came back to kind of screw with Drew McIntyre for a little bit. And with John Cena currently filming a movie, or quotes, Drew McIntyre injured him, but hopefully we'll have Drew fight Ziggler some more a little bit. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then we'll get Drew and maybe hopefully Cena battle each other at WrestleMania. I think that'd be like a good match. But we got to get some more Dolph for the time being. So for this Battle Royal and the winner of the Battle Royal, I was really glad he won and defeated the monster among men, Braun Strowman. But, man, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 4-star. And I'm going to go to Woodard because Woodard has it all written down, baby. What did you think, Seawood?
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started from the top. You get Elias number 1, and then I don't know what they're doing with Elias. He's such a heel character, but the fans, they just love that whole shtick. But it's just I don't think they know how to book him at this point. It seems like he still has those heel mannerisms. They basically bring out a legend, a.k.a. Jeff Jarrett, and he just buries him immediately. That's a heel thing to do, basically. But nonetheless, starts off with Elias immediately eliminating Double J, who still has never drawn a dime, according to some people. And then you get Nakamura, who immediately comes out and does his "Come on!" So I love that. Elias has this really sweet top rope walk though with Nakamura. He goes all the way from post to post, so
walking with
shout
Elias.
out to Elias. That was pretty awesome. I didn't know he had it in him. Number 4, I guess, you get your first surprise. You have Kurt Angle, but once again, he's kind of wasted here because after Big E comes out at 5, Nakamura eliminates Angle within 3 minutes, I think. So not sure what that was all about. If Angle just didn't they didn't think he had it in him, but if that's the case, why he was even there?
Maybe get an Angle Shinsuke feud in the future for the
that
US
would be
title.
nice, but I don't know if you build that up in 3 minutes or less. So a little awkward there, I thought.
Yeah.
Number 6, get your next surprise. You get Johnny Gargano So his wife appeared earlier, so now we get Johnny wrestling here. And unfortunately, the first move he hits on the main roster is a very sloppy DDT on Big E. Somebody messed that up somewhere, but at least he got a strong elimination with Mahal. Mahal comes out in a couple minutes. The Singh brothers, once again, were the highlight of the whole Mahal act, where Graves basically said Samir needs inoculations because he ate Big E's pancakes. So another funny spot. Joe comes in, makes everything serious. Then we get wasted spot, I think number 2 at this point, and Kurt Hawkins does more ring hiding. Number 10 is where you get Seth Rollins hashtag bear down for those nice bear collars that Seth Rollins had on. So he comes in pretty early in this thing, really. He comes in at number 10, so that's something to note here in a little bit. Wasted spot number 3, you get Titus, who kind of funny, watching him try not to slide under the ring, and then you see the whole thing with Hawkins, and he immediately gets eliminated. Let's see, number 13, you get Mustafa Ali, who probably, honestly, might have been the MVP of this Royal Rumble match, surprisingly. So he comes in, and he gives Nakamura the come on. So
that was
big ups
great.
to Mustafa Ali. He was awesome in this match.
Yeah.
So actually, also Ali gets a big elimination on Nakamura. So big ups to him. Wasted spot. Well, I've lost count at this point. You get No Way Jose at 15.
Oh, I hated
I
that
forgot
one.
he was still on the roster. The highlight of No Way Jose is, number 1, he may have set the elimination record for quickest elimination. I don't know if he got in and out faster than Santino Morel, but he may have actually pulled it off. But the highlight for me was when McIntyre comes out at 16 and takes out not only Jose, but all the jobbers that had to come out with him. So that was pretty entertaining. So love me some Drew McIntyre. 17, you get Xavier Woods, who misses Kofi when they're supposed to do like one of the Kofi like non-elimination spots. So something bad happened there, but luckily Kofi had the wherewithal to keep one of the speed off. Now it's just plain cheating. I don't care what anyone says, but nonetheless they get back in, immediately get eliminated by McIntyre. So you get another surprise entry at 18, Pete Dunne. So
Yeah.
great to see Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight. He had a good showing here tonight, I thought. So he's just like one of those guys, you look at him and next thing you know, he's like trying to break your fingers. So I absolutely love Pete Dunne. Get him to the main roster, please, soon. Let's see, 21's your next surprise. You get Aleister Black. He pretty much comes in and immediately takes out Dean Ambrose. So kind of a shock elimination there a little bit. So Aleister also had a pretty good showing. Almost, in my opinion, a surprise entrant for me, Shelton Benjamin at 22. Because once again, another guy like who thought he was still on the roster. I kind of forgot.
Hey,
he hadn't been on TV for months. Is all I know.
On the Aleister Black, did you find it kind of weird when him and Seth Rollins were fighting? Tyler Black versus Aleister Black. That was fucking funny.
I feel like he's definitely had matches with all of those guys previously.
In the Ring of Honor.
23, you get your boy Baron Corbin.
Oh, yeah.
Corbin gets a nice elimination on Cruz, so he doesn't look as weak as he did last year when he got eliminated 1 minute or less. So Corbin had a few spots here. Around 24, you get Jeff Hardy, but you had also a great exchange between Aleister Black and Pete Dunne. I don't know if those guys have had their one-on-one match yet, and I haven't caught it, but those guys need to have a one-on-one match soon because they had a nice, exchange of moves and stuff. But unfortunately, Corbin eliminated Black and McIntyre eliminated Dunne after that. The next interesting thing that happened, 26 gets you Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley got eliminated in like 30 seconds. I feel like he was supposed to grab the rope or something, but he's too oily. Leo Rush poured too much oil on him or something. He immediately just gets in and falls out of the ring.
Yeah, I think he botched himself. And his hand gave or something. He couldn't grab the rope.
Yeah, something bad happened there because I don't think there's any way possible they would have let your new Intercontinental Champion get eliminated that fast. I feel like they basically did the spot when I think they did this in 2001. I think when the Big Show made a surprise entrance. He was coming back from OVW. He took out a bunch of people, then The Rock threw him out, and then he put The Rock through the table, and he was out for a while. Well, they kind of did this here where Rollins eliminated Lashley, then Lashley put Rollins through the table, taking him out. So, yeah, it was kind of a repeat spot from 01 in my opinion. Number 28 was Ziggler. Yeah, I know
Hey,
he's your boy, but
oh man, what if
but
he
it's
would have
just
won? I would have been excited.
we say that every year though. He enters at like these upper 20s and 30 number where you're just like, this will be the year for Dolph, and every single time he gets tossed out in like
Oh,
minutes.
I love Dolph.
At least he made it to the Final Four this year.
Yeah.
So then 30, you get the whole like not R-Truth, but Nia Jax for some reason. Even though most everybody hates Nia except for one person who's on this panel tonight. But nonetheless, it was still kind of cool. The crowd actually warmed up to Nia after a minute. She did eliminate Mustafa Ali, who lasted this long, so it's kind of surprising to see that. Then you start to get a lot of eliminations, like it's the return of violence against the ladies. I guess you could see Ray and Randy Orton hit moves on Nia Jax. So that was a little crazy. You could eat an RKO. So that was pretty crazy. So I guess we're going to have one guy to do it. May as well get Randy Orton in there to do it. So after a bunch of eliminations, it comes down to Strowman and the Architect. So they had a great finishing sequence on the ring apron that finished with the curb stomp to get you Seth Rollins the win. So I really liked the ending sequence in the match. It was predictable booking, but I think it was the right booking. So now you're going to get the Architect probably versus Brock Lesnar at Mania. I mean, you could say like, oh, maybe he's going to fight Bryan, but no, I mean, if you can't have, Reigns back, you may as well have Rollins in that spot fighting Lesnar because not only that, the crowd's going to chant for him and they're going to root for Rollins all the way.
Yeah.
That all being said, you probably noticed I said there was a decent amount of wasted spots here. And I know some of the people I read on Twitter, they didn't like all the, the surprises from NXT, NXT UK, and that stuff. They would have rather saw a legend here or there, or more of the main roster people. But here, I mean, you had what's his name? The jobber who hasn't won a match. Why is Kurt Hawkins? How did he qualify for the Royal Rumble? He's never won a match. And you had other guys like No Way Jose who hasn't been on TV. I love me some Shelton Benjamin, but what's he done to qualify for the Rumble? Like nothing. So here's a list of names I made that weren't in this match. I mean, you didn't have the Usos. You didn't have Zack Ryder, which, I mean, he basically shouldn't have qualified anyway, but nonetheless, we all love us some Zack Ryder, and he wasn't even anywhere to be seen. No Rude, no Gable. They were on the pre-show, never seen again. Any of the 205 Live people, they could have threw any of those guys in, and at least he would have got some decent action. So, like, the one name I think you should have thrown in was Cedric Alexander. I put Gulak because, hey, Drew Gulak, I got to shout him out. But, someone mentioned in the chat previously, EC3, they're hyping him up. We got Lacey Evans in the women's, and then Nikki Cross. Why not throw some of the new guys in the Rumble, like your Heavy Machinery or your EC3s? Like they were nowhere to be seen or mentioned at all tonight. You had no Sanity from SmackDown. Those guys haven't been seen for months. As far as I know, none of them are injured. We mentioned Luke Harper earlier. He's not injured. Where's he at? And then I even put Owens and Zayn. I know KO and Sami Zayn. I don't know if they're 100% or not, but they've already hyped that they're coming back. So I don't know why they would hype it and not use the Rumble as an easy platform to bring them back. If nothing else, if they're still kind of banged up but can go, bring them in for a few minutes. Like, I mean, I don't think Braun Strowman was 100%, but at least, he went in there and he worked a pretty decent time and did his thing. So that all being said, I'm going to give this a solid 3.5 out of 5. I don't think it was as solidly booked as the women's, but nonetheless, I always love the Rumble matches, and they're always entertaining from start to finish. So 3.5 out of 5 is what I'll give this.
Awesome, man. How about you, Chad? What did you think about the men's 30-man Rumble?
I'm gonna go same with Woodard. I like I loved the fact that Seth won. I thought the ending was pretty cool because you thought it was gonna be Dolph and Andrade. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have Braun and Seth who are still in it. But I mean, I kind of missed the old school guys showing up except for Double J.
Yeah, you mean like, what was great also was the King said, "Oh, I forgot Braun and Seth were still in the match." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why you don't commentate anymore." But no, like
he said a couple of things there that were off. They also
only a couple.
Corey made a comment. He was like, I guess JBL said they must breed Hornswoggler's under there, and he goes, "Yeah, just let me know if you need me to give you a garbage can anytime soon."
Yeah.
So, 3.5. Looking forward to Raw tomorrow night.
Hell yeah, man. Awesome. Bueller, what did you think about the big match here, the 30-man? Are you glad to see Seth win it all?
Well, he was my pick to win when we talked about that before a few days back and stuff. So I kind of figured he would win. That's kind of the direction they've been going. My sleeper pick was actually Bobby Lashley to win, and that obviously did not come to pass. You know, like you said, I think something must have happened.
He fell asleep in the booking meeting.
Yeah, so I mean, that was too bad because
Got too soon.
got up and unfortunately, like I said, something happened and he just fell out of the ring. I think I like. There was a lot of wasted spots, and unfortunately, I was a little taken back by that, you know. And then there was there's so many free agents that are out right now that we all know about that I would have liked to have seen them pull the trigger on one, you know, because of the new competition that's probably going to be coming very soon. It would have been great to get someone like, oh wow, they just signed that guy type thing. And besides all the people that they have in like NXT and stuff that we will eventually see. So we didn't see any free agents or any, we did get the Slapnut guy, and I've never liked that dude. And, God, that was horrible. But I was really hoping for some Velveteen Dream, and because he didn't wrestle last night on the NXT pay-per-view. And I'm like, he's got to show up for the Rumble, okay? And then when Gargano came out, I was like, yeah, we're gonna get the 6 guys that are gonna be in the halftime heat thing. They're gonna be in the ring, okay? They should have had those 6 guys as part of the Rumble. You know, they could have dumped Hawkins, they could have dumped Titus O'Neil and a few other guys, and those 6 guys should have been entrance into the Rumble. I would have loved to see a stare down with those 6 guys again, like they did the exclusive stuff on after the pay-per-view yesterday that I watched, and that was just fun. But we didn't get that, so I was disappointed we didn't get those guys. And I was telling Sam, because Sam doesn't watch a lot of NXT, I go, man, if Velveteen Dream comes out there, that place is going to blow up, man, because he is so over. When he came out last night after the show, I mean, the thing, it just erupted type thing.
They love it.
So it was great to see him, but we didn't get it. The ending was pretty predictable. I was pretty much, it was going to come down to Rollins and the big guy Strowman and stuff like that, and obviously Rollins won. And the whole Nia Jax thing, it's like, I'm not for female violence on females. But I was laughing pretty hard, just to see like Rey Mysterio, going up against Nia Jax. And I was like, what are they doing? This is a flashback to 15 years ago, and it was fun. It reminded me of Chyna, and I was a big Chyna fan when she was in the Rumble, and then like Beth Phoenix was in the Rumble before. I don't know how she got entered into the Rumble. She just came out there and threw R-Truth into a barrier and just walked out to the ring.
She didn't even ask Finley.
Yeah, she didn't ask anybody. And then the commentators just said, oh, she's in the ring now, so she must be entered.
The Rock's cousin.
And so that was kind of weird. And so that was kind of fun. Then she got eliminated, and so that's great. But all in all, there was lacking some spots. It was pretty much predictable. I sat there and like the last 6 spots, I knew exactly who the last 6 people were. I mean, there was nothing left. I was like, okay, we don't have Randy Orton, we don't have Strowman, we don't have Ziggler, we don't have R-Truth, which is the last one. So like at spot number 25, I was like, I know everyone else is coming out. We're not getting anyone else, and I was kind of bummed about that. So it was very predictable. But anyway, it was good. It had some nice spots. That Mustafa Ali guy, I think that's his name. He looked pretty good, but I don't know. I'm just not sold on him yet. the Kofi things. He had a couple of his get back into the ring things, and they looked cheesy and stuff. I'm kind of over those, and we really don't need, the New Day. We don't really need the New Day anymore in the Rumble, to be honest. That's
No.
3 spots right there that we could give this.
And Kofi, all he does is, even though he still botched the moves. Different angle shows foot hitting the floor.
Yeah. So it's too bad about that. Oh no, I think I give it a 3. It's not a Rumble I'm going to remember, because we didn't have that big surprise or a true legend coming back. So that was disappointing. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.
We had Jeff Jarrett come back though.
You've never drawn a dime, like you said.
Damn, that sounds like some old timer like wrestling guy. He never drew no dime. Lawler carried him. Jerry Jarrett put his son in all the matches down in Tennessee. I know Dutreg, he's a big old Tennessee fan because he lives out there. But I tell you, man. What about you, Sam? You're our final vote for the night, man. What did you think about the men's 30-man?
Well, I took a few notes here on this, so if you don't mind me talking about this here real
go
quick.
right ahead, Sam.
Okay, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett just looked bad to me. He just looked.
That costume.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, you compare this to like 1998. There's no comparison. He looked so much better back in 1998. This was just sad times for him. This is 2019. It's time to grow up, buddy. Come on. he did not look good. and I thought that Shinsuke, he did all right. Kurt Angle was looking pretty good for a bit. The New Day, I don't know. There people would try and eliminate the Kofi and stuff, and somehow his feet didn't touch, and he somehow made it over to the steps, and that was crazy. And Samoa Joe, he looked pretty good, Let's see. Dean Ambrose, he did all right.
You got eliminated fast.
No Way Jose, he got eliminated pretty quick, but I believe Santino got eliminated quicker than him in one of the Royal Rumbles, I believe. And also, I want to say, I don't understand how Baron Corbin can wrestle in that outfit. That's just crazy to me. It's really crazy, and I was disappointed. There was no Big Show out there. I think he's got at least a little run left in him. One last run. Would have been nice to have seen Bray Wyatt out there, maybe, or Kevin Owens.
Maybe Kane. How about Kane?
Well, I think he's busy being mayor or whatever.
Yeah, the mayor.
But and also now, surprisingly, I'm gonna be the one to say I really appreciated Nia Jax going out there.
Yeah, you did.
And showing the guys what's up.
Dang.
But it was nice. It was nice to see that.
Are you saying showing the guys what's up because that's Kofi or that's
our song? Yeah.
You know what? I think there's something to that. Yeah, you can go with that. Sure.
And if you listen to R-Truth coming out doing his rap, it sucked. It wasn't even on key. He knew that girl was coming for him. He was a sitting duck out there. He knew it too.
It was probably one of the worst "What's Up" he's ever done in his whole history.
It wasn't even on the beat.
That's true. That's true.
It was on that night.
But I gotta say, I'm very happy that the architect won the whole dang thing because I was here watching this Royal Rumble, and I'm on the show. So I thought that was very, very cool how this all played out.
Hell yeah, because you are the architect, man. What
Yeah.
do you give it out of 5 stars?
Um, I'm gonna say it squeaks by with a 3.5.
All right.
Hey, Legend, I got one more thing to add real quick. It's
Yeah.
something I just thought. Do any of you guys know what the deal is with Jason Jordan right now? Is he still hurt? Because he's not been on.
He's not going to wrestle anymore. He is backstage. I think he's helping with writing and
Producing the matches.
yeah.
Yep.
He's not going to be able to wrestle over again.
He hurt his neck.
I didn't know that because I was sitting there and I was asked Sam. I was like, you know what, where's he been and stuff. But this would be a great opportunity for like him. We had Kurt Angle in the Rumble, and then say Jason Jordan came out and eliminated his quote dad type thing. That would have been a nice little setup for something that they wanted to do before. But I didn't know he was hurt. That's too bad.
Yeah.
And I think Lars was supposed to take Cena's place before they gave it to Braun.
Yeah, what's up with Lars?
He is
Anxiety issues? Something?
mental health. Mental health.
All right, damn. Man, yeah, if I had to look at myself in the mirror like that, I'd probably have some mental health too. But, sorry. That was a little Corey or a little JBL line. My bad, y'all, my bad. We got Comic Noob in the chat says his sleeper pick was Drew McIntyre, but he's glad that Rollins won. Mamar Bahati says Royal Rumble Cup, hi! And we got Mick Payne. He goes, probably saving a huge Demon King entrance for WrestleMania. And Knights of Old said, did Sabu wrestle? Dude, Sabu did not wrestle. He should have, though, and I would have probably given the whole thing 4 stars. All right, so I'm going to go down. I'm going to, my whole experience, Royal Rumble, the whole event, I'm going to go 3 stars. How about you, Chad?
3.5.
Woodard, what do you think?
Yeah, overall, I think I'm going to give it I'll say 4. I think the women really stole the show for me. All the women's matches were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the WWE title match, even though, like I said, placement on the card wasn't best. And, you know, as average as the Royal Rumble for the men's was, it's still the Royal Rumble. It's always an entertaining watch, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with, even though it was a 5-hour show, wow, seemed like it was forever. I'm still going to give it a 4 stars. I think it was very entertaining.
Awesome. How about you, Bueller?
I would go with the 3. I think that there's nothing in the show that it's going to be extremely memorable down the road. Like it's not something there we're going to be talking about next year. But it was entertaining during the show, and so it's a little above average. So I'm going to go with the 3.
3. And Sam, what did you think, man? The final review from the architect himself.
It's probably not the most memorable Royal Rumble I've ever witnessed. So I'm going to have to go with a 3.0.
Yeah, that's about like averaging around probably 3.5 at the highest out of all of our stuff. So do y'all have any do y'all want to do some quick predictions of what y'all think is going to happen? So was it the Elimination Chambers coming up? Got some women tag teams. Y'all think Bayley and Sasha are going to win the belts?
I think that it's obviously I think we're going to get one Elimination Chamber match that's going to set up the title match for the SmackDown title. So luckily, we're probably going to get Eric Rowan in the Elimination Chamber match, which I'm looking forward to since he's now part with Daniel Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a joy. But we pretty much set up the Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania, which should be a fun match. And I think we're all going to agree we're finally going to see they need to take the belt off Brock. I think we're all in agreement with that. We've been in agreement with that for years. It seems like. So I'm
ever since Goldberg got beat.
Yeah, exactly. So we got that, and we're also going we're going to get the setup now for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. So that should be a lot of fun. And you know what? they might even put that as the headline for WrestleMania. I mean, that's kind of the word going around. And especially if Ronda's thinking about stepping away, after WrestleMania, they might just book that, and we might have our main event of WrestleMania, a woman's title match, which should just be. Chad might not watch it, but I will.
I'm all for that. I like me looking forward. I'm looking forward to the Becky Lynch Ronda, and I'm looking forward to Seth beating Brock, man. And if all else, maybe have Finn give him another chance as the Demon, and then we can have the Demon and Seth at WrestleMania. But that's what I'd like to see. How about you, Sam? Was there any special stuff you'd like to see in the next couple of months or wrestling?
Well, of course, I think the sky's the limit for Seth Rollins. I mean, he's been proving a lot time and time again that he will go far, and I believe he down the road he can possibly beat Brock Lesnar, unless somebody else comes along and beats Brock Lesnar, but. I think Bayley and Sasha will eventually be the women tag team champions, if not at Elimination Chamber, probably at the WrestleMania. So, yeah.
Hell yeah, man! Freaking awesome. How about you, Seawood?
Yeah, it's definitely lining up to be an interesting WrestleMania. I think Ronda and Becky, that's going to be your final match of the night. They're really building toward that. I think we're going to get Asuka and Charlotte. I mean, I don't know how many Elimination Chamber matches we're going to get next month, but I'd imagine at some point Charlotte's going to get that number one contendership through a SmackDown belt. So I think they're going to build up to Asuka versus Charlotte at Mania Part 2, I guess. So that'll be another strong main event for them. Obviously, you're going to get Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, I think, where hopefully, he'll be the Beast Slayer instead of the King Slayer. I think that'd be pretty awesome. And, I'm still holding out for Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels, maybe. You got to get the mentor versus the mentee. I think that's, I don't know where you really go with Daniel Bryan next. He's fought AJ enough times, I think, and what other big baby faces there on the SmackDown roster he could go against? And I just don't know right now. But let's maybe put him against AJ again. But I don't know if I want to see that for the umpteenth time. Unless there's huge a career versus ladder or something like that. Who knows? So nonetheless, I think they kept the legends out of the Rumble for a reason, minus Jeff Jarrett. But we'll see what happens. And for the women's tag. I think the Riot Squad's going to bring them home to Raw. They're booking Ruby kind of strong right now. Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to lie, cheat, and steal their way to those tag belts. You don't Becky, or not Becky, but you're going to get the Hug team to fight them at Mania probably.
You don't think the Iconics are going to have a chance at the titles?
Oh man, they are. I love me some Peyton Royce and some Billy Kay. Wow, they are booked extremely weak. They equate to one person.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully we'll wish them well in their future endeavors. How about you, Chad? What's your thoughts, man, closing out the show tonight? Where do you think the future is for the WWE?
I'm hoping that the future is bright, but I personally think Finn's going to have the belt before WrestleMania.
Damn, I hope so. We got to have freaking Finn. I want to give a big shout-out to Sheila. Again, she says, how about the Undertaker and Triple H? Oh, we don't want to see that pay-per-view again, Sheila. That was a rough pay-per-view. What was that? Was that one of the second crown jewel when they did or something?
The brown jewel.
Oh, man.
Jewel.
Well, the last remnants of the crown jewel was the, and we still have it. It is the best tag team in the world. The inception of that whole thing was like the crown jewel, but I think that's the last little bit of the crown jewel we have in our minds. That. But man, I tell you what, this was a great night. I really appreciate y'all when we giving the fans what we thought about our WWE PPV review of Royal Rumble 2019. Let's go down the line real quick, see what we got on all of our channels. Sam, what do you got going on your YouTube channel coming up?
Well, I believe I got a video coming out next day or so, and beyond that, I think I really want to set a pattern of doing at least a video a week. I think I need to get into.
Oh, calm down.
I need to get into a routine, of at least a video a week. And I hear rumblings of people wanting me to possibly do like a live chat down the line or live video. We'll see about that. It might be a little while yet, but we'll see.
Nothing like a good live show, man. Nothing like a good live show. Hey, Bueller, what you got going on at your channel?
Well, I'm gonna film a mini version of my comics and copy here in a little bit. It's not gonna be the full regular one. It's been kind of a busy day, and I had some people over that was moving some stuff out of my house, so I'm kind of hurting on time when it comes to that. As far as after that, I'll have my regular top 10 video on Tuesday, and I'll have my early sneak peek video on Thursday morning. And I might be able to fit in my Just the Keys video if I get done editing it. That might be on a Wednesday, but then I'll be back on Friday with my live stream, and then obviously on the Comic Core on Friday night with all you guys. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm trying to convince Sam to maybe do his first contest video and for his channel, because I think Sam would get a lot of support from the community if he put a contest out there, and if he wants to do it, I'll help him out. And if he doesn't want me to help out, I don't really care. I'll do it anyway. So, but anyway, that's about it. That's what's going on.
That's the way to do it, helping everyone in the community. How about you, C. Woodard19?
This Tuesday I'll be having another Tuesday night live stream, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, every single Tuesday on my channel, so that'll be a lot of fun. Then Friday, I might be a little late, but I'm going to make my triumphant return to the Comic Core, because at 10 p.m. on Friday nights, you never know what's going to happen on the Comic Core.
Those guys needed you on Friday.
That's what I've heard.
Come back. Don't be late, please.
Yeah, I know last Friday, I'm sure you guys had, you had some great topics you covered, so everyone needs to check them out. Anyway, moving on.
Damn.
And then I think I'm going to try to start a new series on my channel every Sunday, Signature Sundays, where I kind of just want to know how many signatures I have in my collection, because somebody else asked me and I didn't have an answer. So I think I'm just going to start showing signed books on my channel and give the stories behind them. So if not this Sunday, it'll be the following Sunday when I'm off. So look out for that.
Sam, all right, man. How about you, Chad? What you got going on? What's over there in store on the Comic Core?
We got the Comic Core on Friday. That's about it.
Man, the Comic Core is always hopping. It's always popping. And we love when y'all are stopping on by the Comic Core, man. You come see us. We're live 9 Central, 10 Eastern every Friday on the Comic Core. And if you didn't know where some of these videos are, check in the video description down below. You'll find a lot of links to all of our channels. I'm going to be putting Sam's Tangled Web in the video description as well. And it was such a great time and such an honor to have Sam's Tangled Web, the freaking architect, here live with the Royal Rumble PPV review. Sam, did you have fun?
Oh, I always have fun with you guys. You guys are a blast, and thanks for having me on here.
What did you and Bueller eat tonight, Sam? Did y'all have any good food over there?
What did we eat?
He doesn't like tomatoes.
No, we had
pizza.
We had this kind of chicken pizza thing, and there was tomatoes on there. I'm not a fan of the
How
tomatoes.
can you not like tomatoes on pizza? Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
He's a picky eater.
I'm picky, okay? I'm sorry.
I've made him food, and he just stares at it like, I'm not eating this.
We're going to eliminate it from the pizza topping Royal Rumble.
I know,
He's
right?
making stuff up.
Hey, Legend, you got anything coming up on your channel this week, or are you on any shows or anything?
You know, I've got something coming up. We've got another Legends live auction coming up this Saturday on the 2nd, February 2nd, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to have Gene Paul Ace Peter coming at us live from Canada. We're going to have him on the auction. And I've also got word that we're going to be having Brandon, a.k.a. Archangel's going to be there with us. And then we'll see if we have any other guest spots for that show coming up this Saturday night on Legends Live Auction. Also this week, maybe this week, if not this week, I'll do it. I'll start it up in February. Most likely it'll be in February, but it's going to be called Legends Revival, where you're getting a combination show of the Great Legend unboxing, a lot of stuff from 2018 and a lot of stuff from 2019, and kind of talking about my comic book goals, where I want to go in the world of comics, but also we're going to have some truth videos coming up. So be on the lookout for those, and maybe some wrestling videos for all of you Elite Dangerous fans, a.k.a. I think there's only one of those guys, and his name's Robert Galvin. But we're going to be going into space, so make sure you stay around the place for that. Big shout out again to Knights of Old, Sheila, Comic Noob. Comic Book Gallery says another full week for him. He's going to drop a video a day. And Comic Noob said he's hoping to start making some content soon. And Sheila says he really does not like tomatoes. So, man, we're going to remember that.
She knows me pretty well.
Yeah, she does. Well, fans, this is the Great Legend, and for Comic Core, Chad, and Seawoodard 19, Comics with Bueller, and the architect Sam's Tangled Web, I'm your host, the Great Legend, saying peace out, God bless.